What is the source of our conflicts? None of us wants to have a fight, right? Want to have a conflict. None of us wants to do that. But as, as we all know, we get into we get into arguments, here and there, off and on, especially with our loved one, with our families, our spouse, our parents, or our children. And most of the time, for most of us, we always point our fingers to the other person, this and that. So naturally, we think that that person is the source of our problem. That person is causing us, making us upset, it's making us angry, and all of that. And so, in another word, we say that that person is the source of suffering. That person is the source of the conflicts that we are having in our life, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's go into that a little bit and dissect it to see what is really going on in there, because we don't want to, have fight, to have suffering. So let's delve into it, right? Namaste. Welcome to Buddha's teaching. So when we have a fight, of course, we all know that nobody is feeling good. Okay, when we have a fight, when we have a conflict, especially within the family, that the tension is very high, right? Very tight. You feel not good. Okay, you feel stressed. You feel bad, and the time that you don't talk to each other for days or even weeks, right? And there are times that when we have a fight, we sleep, of course, in a separate room or in a separate house, go to a friend's house to crash for a day or two or whatever. So when there's a fight within the family, when there's a conflict within the family, we all know that nobody wins, right? Both parties loses. And nobody wants to experience that. But a lot of people cannot avoid that. So the source of the conflicts, what are they? Okay, just like I said earlier, normally when we have a fight, we point finger to at each other. Okay, so we have argument, this and that, based on different opinions, based on whatever. Most of the time, the ingredients that brings us into difficult situation, there are, of course, many scenarios that it's not that we can't really cover it all, but there's some major points that we can bring out. Okay, one of the most important thing is have to do with money, right? Money can bring out a lot of tension within the family. Okay, especially when there's not enough money, there's lack of money. Okay, so it creates stress. It's because as we are living, we have obligation, we have responsibilities, we have bills to pay, right? So when the money is short, it creates stressful atmosphere, and that can lead to some kind of disagreement and some kind of argument in the family. So money is one of the major cause in argument, in conflicts. Okay. Number two, the other one is probably about health issue, okay, whether it is your health or your spouse or your kids, okay. And sickness, as we all know, can make people emotions not stable, okay. You can feel grouchy, you can be moody, okay. And so because of that, you can snap, you can get angry very fast, and that can lead to argument and into some kind of conflicts also, right? Now, what else? Because we have to support life, we have to support the family, we are busy going to work, right? So that is also a cause, one of the cause of our problem, okay. When we are too busy, we don't have enough time that we can spend with each other, okay. Or and then we can be very tired, okay. So when we are tired, especially, you have to understand that you and I, we all in the same boat. When we are tired, we tend to uh, get upset very easily, all right. When uh, when the other side, the other person don't understand that, let's say you have a long day of work, stressful work. It's been 10 or 12 hours at your work, so you're tired, okay. So when you're tired, uh, your mood is most of the time not very good, okay. um, so that is one of the cause. When you're busy all the time, you're tired, and that is one of the cause. When the other person says something, out of something for whatever, you can snap so fast, right? So that's another source of our fight, another source of our conflicts. The other thing, um, incompatibility, okay. There are people they have different personalities, have different background, okay. And when we have different personalities and we happen to come to live in the same household, we share the same house, we share the same roof, we share the same utensil, things like that. And because of our way of doing things, our habit of doing things, okay, do not quite go with the other person's way of doing things. So that creates some kind of hmm, you know emotion like that. And with that kind of emotion, looking at each other like that, people tend to say unwholesome things, okay, to each other. People tend to criticize each other, okay, of the way that they're doing things, or the way that people, it's the personality or the manner of the person, or the upbringing of the other person, and that create friction, right? Because there's dislike in mannerism, in a way, right? Either that, or there's some kind of discrimination. And I know there are a lot of cases, especially in Asian countries, okay. um, the the wife, especially for the wife, when after they get married, the wife, if the wife move in with the husband family, right? So now the wife has to go along, has to deal with the husband's family, uh, which can consist of the husband's parent, all right? So it's the in-law, the parents-in-law, or it could be the husband's brothers or sister, okay? And that's not so much in the Western countries, but in Asia, there are a lot of cases like that. Okay, so when one person move in with another family, and because of the different background, because of a different way of doing things, there's the family in power, like for example the husband's family, they would look at the girl's behavior, manner, or the way that she do things, and would criticize the way she, a little bit thing here and there that can lead to um, to unhappiness in in both sides. Okay, the girl would feel that, or they look down at her, or they don't like her, and then the other side, the in-law, say why she do things like this, and so that is another source of conflict. Okay. Okay, what else? um Different opinions. Okay, let's say in the family, or has or conversation, okay, within families or whatnot, you just chat, it's just chattering, we're having normal conversation about this and that, you know for example, especially the hot topic usually is the politics. Okay, and then after that is religion. So that's why those two are the no in workplace. They don't want you to talk about your politics or religion, because they are the cause of problem. But when it comes into family, you can express whatever opinion you want, and those two can cause a lot of problem, can cause a lot of issue within the family. Okay, when you talk, because people have different opinions. Okay, so when people have different opinions, different ideas, that leads to arguments, and that leads to having the fight, and and upset and all that. So chattering, casual, you would think that casual chattering is innocent, right? A lot of time it leads to problem, right? So that is another source of the conflicts that we have. Okay, now what else? Expectation. Okay, again, inside the family, right? You expect your child to do this thing, or you expect your wife or your husband to do certain things or whatnot, and expectation is not met, right? People do something, or they forgot to do things due to whatever reason. Okay, or they don't do things according to what you expect, and you say things to them or whatnot, then you have some kind of argument, right? You have some kind of fight. So that's another source of our conflicts. Okay, see, it's all domestic. Okay, so, and this is because it's a um, the thing that we have in what the family. Okay, let me point this out a little bit. Because we have a family, okay, husband, wife, children, and parent, we have this the closeness. Okay, the closeness with each other. So when we are so close to each other, we take each other for granted. Okay, when we're so close to each other, we take each other for granted, and because of that, we do not take time to understand what the other side is talking about. Okay, and we have no respect whatsoever at all to what he or she say. Okay, respect is out of the window. Okay, they say things, you don't agree, you say back, boom, just like that, clash, and then boom. Okay, there's no respect, there's no understanding, there's nothing. Okay, it's because why? Because we are so close. Okay, because we are family. All right, that's unfortunate. It's because we are family, we are so close, we take each other for granted. Okay, it's not the same way when we are at work. Okay, when we're at work, we have co-workers and stuff. We do have respect for them. Okay, and even though we don't like what they say and stuff, we still, like in the workplace, they encourage you to ask questions first. Okay, you need to understand what the other side come from, try to figure out, okay, what is it reasonable, what is the reason behind what they present and things like that in the meeting, right? And that's how you work it out, you negotiate and things. Okay, so that's in the workplace. Okay, there's an understanding and there's respect for each other. Okay, you respect my idea, my opinion, and you respect their ideas and their opinion. Then that's how you work in a meeting, you work in a project, make things work together, right? So that's in the workplace. Not all workplace, I know that, but in the workplace usually they promote that. Okay, that doesn't happen in house, right? At home, when you come home, that is other question, other window, right? We just whatever, no understanding, no, okay, okay, you don't even bother asking how your day goes, honey. You know, how the kids go today, at work, at school, right? How your day at work, right? How's your day at home? You do, because a housewife has a lot of job, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, cleaning, maintaining. There's so many things going on in every people's life. We don't understand that. So, and because we're so close, it's just, hey, there's no another word. This we forgot the word respect. So that's one of the other thing that is causing issue, or causing the fight, the argument. So those are some of the sources of our conflicts. Okay, so but the thing is this. Okay, so those are the sources. Now, if you look further into those sources of all the different things that I have described so far, there's one thing that should pop into your mind is that it has when there's a conflict. Okay, when there's a conflict or there's an argument, there's anger in there, right? There's dislike. Okay, you dislike what you hear, you dislike what you see. Okay, but or whatever situation it is, there's dislike. Okay, so dislike is anger. Okay, so there is emotion in there. Okay, so when there is anger, normally in the fight, when in the argument, we have yelling, right? We have screaming at each other. So in that moment, we're not listening. Okay, we're not listening. um, you just you each party just want to get their point across. Okay, why can't you hear what I'm saying? What is it that so difficult for you to understand? Things like that, right? So you point that and the other one point this way, you point that way. Okay, why, right? Why you don't understand me? And the other party say why you don't understand them. So there's anger, there's yelling and screaming. Okay, so nobody wins, right? So there's emotion. Emotion is involved. That is the thing. We have to understand that when there are two things living together, there's bound to be some kind of noise, some kind of friction. There's no friction when there's one, but when there's two staying close to each other, there's gonna be some kind of friction. There's some kind of noise. That is inevitable. The problem is that for us, um, when things don't happen according to what we want, okay, we snap so fast, we get angry so fast, okay, we do not give the other person a little room or a little space or a little understanding, okay, there is no room of error in between. No, you just snap just like that, okay. So why is that? It's because, okay, there's no one to blame here. Since we were born, this is a habit. This is the way we have been doing all of our lives, okay. When something don't go according to what we want, we just become angry, okay, we just become upset. When we were small, we cried, right? And so, and this crying when small, but when we grow bigger, when we grow older, we have argument, we become, the head becomes big because we accumulate knowledge, ideas, and opinion. So it's the fight is stronger, it's bigger, right? So when there's argument, when there's fight, the emotion that we have, which is anger, okay, the emotion is the talking. The emotion is doing the talking, okay. Not a peaceful or happy you anymore. That is somewhere nobody knows. But in the fight, it's the emotion that does the talking, that does the movement, right? And we all know when the emotion is pleasant, you do pleasant things, correct? You speak nicely, you speak pleasantly, your behavior, your manner, your face, and all that is pleasant accordingly. But when you're upset, when you have a fight, right? Now your emotion does the talking. Your anger does the talking. Guess what comes out from your mouth? Anger, right? You're gonna come out with all kinds of words, okay? All kinds uh, of phrases and languages that that the anger try to win over the other person. The anger emotion that we have, that anger is using all kinds of materials trying to get the point across, okay, trying to show the other person that you are wrong and I am right, okay. That's anger talk, okay. That is anger talk. So when the anger get higher and higher, now anger create or generate all kinds of hurtful languages, okay, because anger is trying to win. And when the other side's anger is also rising and your anger is also rising, now both party is trying to generate something that can up one another, right? So the bars is raised like this because anger does the talking, okay. So when anger does the talking, the anger will try to find all kinds of words and languages to put the other side down, okay, to intimidate the other side down so that you can be seen as right. And during that time, the language or the words that anger use can be very harmful and very hurtful, okay. It's very, very sharp, okay. It's the time that words, once you spit it out, you cannot take it back. You all know that, right? So when you say certain things that you never thought of, but now the anger is taking the lead, okay. Anger thinks all kinds of unimaginable words and languages that it can use to hurt the other side, that the other side can remember for the rest of their life. Okay, those are the kind of language that break up the family, that break up relationships. Okay, why? It's because of the angry emotion. Okay, so that is actually the very source of our problem. Okay, it's the anger emotion that we have. Okay, yes, we have issue in life, of course. Everyone has things that we have to deal with, but the thing is, we never taught how to approach situation, difficult situation, in an understanding way, okay, in a respectful way within the family. Okay, we never thought of that kind of mannerism. Okay, maybe we got scolded here and there when we were young, okay, by our parents, don't do that, don't do this, and things like that, but that's about it. Right, most of the people, the, they never thought, they never got sit down and explain, okay, why you shouldn't do this and why you shouldn't do that, and how should you approach certain things if there's issue, if there's problem which you're going to run into in life. How do you handle it? Okay, without using the emotion, without reacting so quickly to the other person, without understanding the other side. Okay, you do not, without giving space to the other side. Okay, you have, without having respect to the other side, you just snap and you go like that, try to win, right? Nobody has set us down and teach us how to deal with conflicts, how to watch this emotion. Okay, to watch this emotion, right? When the emotion arrives, you need to do what? Those are the things that the Buddha taught. Okay, the Buddha taught, watch your emotion. Okay, watch your reaction, because this, the emotion, or that, you know, generate a speech, generate a behavior or a action. Okay, that emotion leads, is the lead cause of things that we say or what we do, right? So without an understanding, without respecting each other, okay, we just snap, we just go with it. Okay, you say something, no, you know, there's no space. There's no space that you give each other. There's no respect. There's no understanding behind it. Okay, and the thing is that nobody taught us about this kind of stuff that we have in us, the emotion that we have. So those, and because of that, we have the conflicts, right, in a family and all that. So that's what we need to understand. That's what we need to study if we want to have a meaningful relationship. We want to have a happy family environment. That's what we need to do. Okay, we need to observe and learn about our own emotion, learn to not react, you know, like that. You know, you say something, oh, you need to stop. Okay, you need to stop, step back, give it space. Okay, some people recommend you count it to 3, count it to 5, give it a space. Do not use anger to solve issue. We all know that when you use anger to solve issue, there's never a good result coming back, because anger create or generate negative speech, negative language, unwholesome speech, unwholesome karma, unwholesome activity. Okay, so the actual cause, the actual source of our problem is our own emotion. Okay, we don't know how to control it. We do not understand how this emotion works, so we just go along with it. Okay, so I mean, there are many kind of source of conflicts. You cannot avoid it, but the important thing is how do we handle it. That's what makes the difference between a healthy relationship or a broken relationship. That's the difference. Okay, so there you go. That's the source of our conflicts, source of our suffering. Right. So until next time, if you have any comments or suggestion, leave me a one down below, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. Until next time, I like to pay respect to the triple gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma, and I like to pay respect to the Sangha. Namaste.